Welcome to Joke Story Trick Live with Michael Kent. I'm him. Let's go. Oh my gosh, everyone. We made it to another Tuesday, and tonight from the WWE, we've got Doug Basham on the show. He'll be joining us live from Ohio Valley Wrestling. They're just wrapping up their broadcast there, and they had a show there tonight, so he'll be on with us shortly. I watched the Super Bowl this weekend. No surprise there. I've kind of always hated Tom Brady, but there's no reason for me hating Tom Brady. He is, without question, the greatest quarterback of all time, and he doesn't seem like an asshole. And everyone's talking about the halftime show in the weekend. I personally made the mistake of saying on Facebook that I liked the performance. That was a mistake. I made every single person on Facebook tell me I was wrong. Because I liked it. What do you think? Tell me in the chat. We have Chris Morrow here. What's up?
Chris.
And we have Mitch and Andrew.
Money making Mitch.
Andrew.
And Scotty's here.
Is Mike Donnelly? Is Scott there?
Yes, he is. What did you think about the weekend on the Super Bowl? I thought it was great. I had no problems with it. I thought it was groundbreaking in a way. Mitch says I was right. Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate that. While you're all thinking about the Super Bowl, I'm going to tell you about my weekly podcast, Tell Me What to Google. Every week, a listener calls in and tells me something they recently learned from the internet, and I do a deep dive about that thing. This month, for Black History Month, we're revisiting stories that I've done about the contributions and legacies of Black Americans, and you can listen to that by going to tellmewhattogoogle.com or just search for Tell Me What to Google, wherever you get your podcasts. So Josh is here, and Josh says, I watched First Avenger this weekend, not The Weekend. That's not at all what I was talking about, Josh, but it's fine. You didn't watch? That's totally cool. I watched it. I didn't catch the national anthem, but I heard that I heard they did the national anthem in 4, conducted it in 4, performed it in 4. Huge pet peeve of mine. National anthem is supposed to be in 3. It's written in 3. It's supposed to be performed in 3. The only person who ever is allowed to perform it in 4 is Whitney Houston, and she's dead. So, yeah. But I did enjoy the game, even though it wasn't, it wasn't the game wasn't even, I guess. And, it was still fine. It was still fun to watch. No problems there. And, let's check in with, let's see. Now that was rough, says Mitch Joseph. I'm not sure what you were, the national anthem was rough. All right, man. I'll take your word for it. I didn't catch it. And I still haven't watched a replay of the national anthem. But I'm mumbling and rambling at this point, so there's nothing more to do but tell the stupid news. Scientists have used nanotechnology to allow spinach plants to send emails. While communicating with our food is technically a scientific breakthrough, some people are worried that it will lead to spam emails. You know who's not excited about this? Baby Spinach, who now has to explain to Spinach how to attach a PDF file. Hey, Baby Spinach, what's my Wi-Fi password? Southern Spinach, I don't know. An Ontario couple was fined $880 for breaking a stay-at-home order to play Pokemon Go. I'm told we have a screenshot of what the couple caught. A couple in India took the plunge literally and got married underwater, though neither the bride or the groom could say I do because some idiot invited this bitch. A teenager emerging from a 10-month coma apparently has no knowledge of the pandemic. Yeah, the teen is looking forward to going out with friends to a buffet, kissing his girlfriend, and finally taking that trip to South Africa. We tried to set up a Zoom meeting with the teen, and he said, "What's a Zoom meeting?" And finally, farmers in Jamaica are struggling due to a marijuana shortage. The farmers had received an email that the plants have unionized and gone on strike. Thanks a lot, Spinach. This has been your stupid news. I'm surprised by that, Marijuana plants are usually so laid back. I guess they weren't indica. I don't know. So tonight, if you are watching on YouTube, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button. Make sure to click the bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss a show. And I really appreciate that. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, please do the same and follow me. Every set of eyes helps. I greatly appreciate it. It's time for me to teach you how to magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
Tonight, let's do that again. I love that intro.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
So you need a deck of cards to do this. If you don't have a deck of cards with you, don't worry about it. You can do it later. You need a deck of cards, and we're going to cut to a card and be able to tell someone what card was cut to without ever looking at it. And when I say cut to a card, I literally mean it. You're going to need a knife, okay? So get like a butter knife, safety first. Get something that, it doesn't have to be sharp. I don't care. And what you're going to do is just kind of go like this. You say, tell me when to stop. You could even hand the knife to someone else and say, tell me when to stop, or just cut the deck anywhere you want. Boom. And you stick it in there like that. That's all you got to do. When they stick it in there, you just show them the card. I won't look at it. And then you instantly know 9 of hearts. Now, of course, I'm looking at a screen. I can see it, but I'm going to show you how to do this when you're not looking at a screen. It's very easy. Let's go over here to this close-up camera. So you've got a knife and you've got a deck of cards, and I'll tell you now, you need a knife that's been recently cleaned. That's important because the whole way that this works is wherever this goes into the deck, your view is of a great reflection of that card. The knife reflects to you. They can't see that because you're holding the deck this way. You show them, and of course you already know what the card is because you have a magic stick. Anyway, if that worked, I have taught you how to magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
Teach me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
I hope you enjoyed that teaching you of the how to magic. I appreciate it. Christopher Morrow says he laughed out loud on baby spinach. Pretty happy about that one. In fact, I'm happy about this week's jokes in general. And so it is time for the part of the show where we tell jokes. So God said, Adam, I want you to do something for me. Adam said, gladly, Lord, what do you want me to do? God said, go down into that valley. Adam said, what's a valley? God explained it to him. Then God said, cross the river. Adam said, what's a river? God explained it to him. And then he said, go over to that hill. Adam said, what's a hill? God explained to Adam what a hill was. He told Adam, on the other side of that hill, you'll find a cave. Adam said, what's a cave? After God explained, he said, in the cave, you'll find a woman. Adam said, what's a woman? So God explained that to him. Then God said, I want you to reproduce. Adam said, how do I do that? God first said under his breath, geez. And then, just like everything else, God explained that to Adam as well. So Adam goes down into the valley, across the river, over the hill, into the cave, and finds the woman. Then, in about 5 minutes, he's back. God, his patience wearing thin, said angrily, what is it now? And Adam said, what's a headache? Oh my gosh, I was pretty happy about that one this week. It is time to choose a completely random joke out of a joke book. These are all joke books that I own on this wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to see what we come up with. Somewhere in here, there's a joke book that we're going to use, and 2,000 jokes. Let's find it. Oh, this is a bad one. This is a bad one. It's 2,000 surefire jokes for speakers, the encyclopedia of one-liner comedy. Comedy should be in quotations. There are 227 pages. Taylor Hurt in the chat. Tell me a number between 1 and 227, and I will read a random joke from that page. It's totally up to you. Christopher Morrow
Chris
says bravo on the Adam joke. Thank you. Pretty good. I don't even believe in God, and I liked that joke. Taylor Hurt, give me a number. 148, 146, 147, 148. Here we go. I don't know if this is good or if it's not good, but I'm going to read it. Where are we at? There we go. A lot of people tend to underestimate the importance of the vice president. Let's not forget that he presides over the Senate, functions as a president's special envoy to countries all over the world, and during cabinet meetings, he's the one who goes out for coffee. Is that the joke? I think maybe, okay. I need to do a second joke. I don't even get Taylor Hurt says, forgive me. It's not your fault. You picked the page. Okay, this one, we're just going to have to go with this one. The last one. These are all politics type jokes. This one says, I understand they no longer allow cuckoo clocks in Washington or anything else that tells it like it is. That was horrible. Okay, so let's get out of this joke section and get into a story. It's time for a story from our special guest. Tonight's guest is an American retired professional wrestler of more than 20 years. He's best known for his appearances with World Wrestling Entertainment between 2002 and 2007 and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling under the ring name Basham in 2007. He wrestled as part of the tag team Basham Brothers on SmackDown. He's a 2-time WWE tag team champion, 5-time OVW heavyweight champion, multiple-time OVW champion, and is now helping Al Snow with OVW TV production and also the head trainer at Ohio Valley Wrestling and the Al Snow Wrestling Academy. Everyone, he's coming to me from Ohio Valley Wrestling tonight, and he's live. Doug Basham, what is going on, my friend? How are you?
Michael Kent, hey, thanks for having me on tonight, man. Hey, we got a treat. We have right here. We're at Ohio Valley Wrestling tonight, live. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you great, man.
Yeah, I got this thing figured out.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here just watching this, and our Ohio Valley heavyweight champion Omar Amir comes and sits down next to me, and he heard that joke. He goes, "Oh man, can this guy funny?" I said, I think so. This is here. Oh, everybody, Omar Amir, Ohio Valley heavyweight champion.
Oh my gosh, Omar, thank you so much for joining us, man. Now, did you wrestle tonight?
I did, absolutely. I actually just got out of the ring maybe 10 minutes ago.
And you got some hardware on your shoulder that tells me that you didn't lose.
Never.
I don't know if you can tell this from where it doesn't come across on Zoom. It just has something to do with the camera. I was doing the same thing with my pecs that you were doing in unison. We were doing them together. It's a Zoom thing. It just doesn't come across on a Zoom meeting. If you were here, you'd be able to see it. But yeah, I was making the nips go up and down like crazy over here. So that's great. How long have you been wrestling, Omar?
About 6 years now.
And how do you know this guy next to you?
Well, I mean, first of all, I know him from the product. You know, when I was a kid growing up, I was watching him and Danny Basham, you know, in WWE, you know, OVW, you know, he was one of the cornerstones of this company for a long time, for a very long time.
That's awesome. Well, we're lucky to have both of you guys on the show tonight.
Needs to be my publicist.
Yeah, he does, man. He needs to start rewriting all your website stuff. I pulled tons of stuff from your Wikipedia, and 5-time champion OVW, Doug. That's crazy. Now, how do you manage that? How do you become a 5-time champion?
Well, I don't know. Let's ask Omar. How did you become champion for the first time here in OVW? How did you do that?
By being the best at what I do. By being the best, by working harder than everyone else.
And
that's how you become the champ. That's how you stay the champ.
And do you train every day?
I do train every day.
How many hours a day?
How many hours? Maybe 2 to 3, and a lot of it is diet. You know, I don't know if you've seen, you know, some of his old clips, but he had one of the best physiques in professional wrestling. I definitely have taken a page out of his book in terms of training.
I'll give you that money later. But man, Omar, man, thanks for stopping by. I know you want to go get showered up and get dressed, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And,
I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Omar.
Michael, thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you to you and your pecs. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you, Omar.
That's awesome. Thanks. We have special guests. This is great.
What a treat, man, what a treat. He just happened to stop in and say hi. And he goes, what are you doing? And I was like, man, I'm on Michael Kent's podcast. He goes, can I sit down? I like to introduce myself. I said, come on.
That's great, man. That's great. Now, tell me your involvement with Ohio Valley Wrestling. What all do you do there now?
Oh man, right now, let's give a little history lesson first, and how I got to where I am today. Way back in, oh my goodness, I'm going to date myself. Probably in 1992 or one, can't quite remember. Nightmare, my aunt started dating this guy named, nobody probably knew who he is, but, some guy named Nightmare Danny Davis, started dating him. And then he used to be one of my favorite tag team wrestlers with Nightmare Danny Davis and Nightmare Ken Wayne back in the olden days, not too old though. And then they got married, and he wanted to get off the road and stay home and maybe kind of retire from wrestling. So he opened up a wrestling school called Nightmare Danny Davis Professional School of Wrestling.
That's awesome.
So he opened that back in, I think, 91 or 90. I think it was 92, because I was his first student. I was the very first one to step foot in that ring. First one he trained. And I don't know if he said this just because I was new nephew or whatnot, but he said I took it to like a duck to water. He said I was a natural. And back then I weighed about 162 pounds, 6'2". And yeah,
wow. That's skinny. That's real skinny.
Yeah, skinny. Oh my God. And guys like Omar that was sitting next to me were throwing me around like a rag doll.
Yeah. Right.
And I got beat up left and right, but I didn't let that stop me. So, and then from the Nightmare Danny Davis School of Professional Wrestling, he had this dream. He had this vision where he wanted to open up his own wrestling territory. So he started Ohio Valley Championship Wrestling, and he started it. We started having shows with all the guys that he had trained, and I was one of them. And then eventually he started having TVs, got on TV shows, and then the rest is history. Well, Danny wanted to retire. Well, and then rest is history. I went on in OVW. I got my WWE contract, developmental contract. Then I got on the road full time. Went on to become two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. Had a wonderful career. And if I had it all to do over again, I'd do exactly the same.
Oh, that's great to hear.
I'd stay there a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I traveled the world for a little bit. And then, Japan, Australia, Europe, Malaysia, everywhere, even Russia.
And where was your favorite country that you visited of all those?
Believe it or not, it was Ireland.
Really?
I loved Ireland because
I believe it.
It was great. I'm kind of a history buff, so nobody really knows that about me. And Ireland is so full and rich of history with castles and all this stuff. And I'm a medieval kind of guy. I love all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Medieval Times is my favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
So I did all that, and then finally decided I was about 36, 37, and I needed to retire and actually get a real job, because I didn't make Hulk Hogan money or
none of us do.
Yeah, so I had to come up, find another career. So I did that, stepped away from wrestling for a little bit. And then Al Snow, Danny Davis decided he wanted to retire. So he, wait a minute, what do we have here? Oh, I thought we had somebody else wanting to come over here and have a talk with us.
Oh, they're welcome, man. Anyone that wants to come on the show is welcome.
Come on, come on.
That goes for the people that are watching. That goes for Doug and his wrestler buddies, but not for all of you yoo-hoos. Y'all don't get a free invite. Doug does, but not all of you. Some of you can come on the show.
We got so much talent here at Ohio Valley Wrestling too. I was like, we had Omar Amir, our Ohio Valley champion. Not only is he a great champion, man, he's just a good dude too. He's solid.
That's
really
awesome.
Good dude from the Bahamas, man. He came here. He got his citizenship by joining the military, fighting for our country.
Wow.
And just a solid 10 of a guy.
That's great.
And then, okay, back to we got Jesse Goddard. We have Jesse Goddard. He is our national champion. and he is just a stand-up guy. Everybody has their opinion about him, but he's a talented. He's a ring general. He knows what he's doing in the ring. I think he's entertaining, and he puts all that together. And that guy has got a very bright future. I think he's also on Big Brother, or has something to do with Hollywood and all this other stuff.
Wow.
Good-looking guy. Don't tell him I said that. But,
It's okay. Nobody's watching this show.
wait, I think we have somebody else that wants to talk to us.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh my gosh. What a treat this is. We have our newly crowned women's champion with us tonight.
Oh
right
my
here.
gosh.
That's Hollywood Haley J.
That's me, baby.
What's going on, Hollywood Haley J? It looks like you did not lose tonight either.
No, I don't ever lose. I'm always winning. You know, I'm top dog. I'm always on top no matter what. You see this? This is what's important now.
It's upside down.
I'm creating history. With Doug, of course.
Well,
With Doug.
I do what I do when I can do it,
How-
but I'm not in the ring. I didn't put in the work. I didn't do what she did. She won this title tonight. Everybody should tune in to Ohio Valley Wrestling. You can catch it. Go on to OhioValleyWrestling.com. You can find out what channel we're on nationwide, actually worldwide. And you'll be able to see Hollywood Haley J in person. Or not, well, you can see her in person if you come here.
You can buy a ticket.
Oh, hey.
Come see me. Come sit in them seats. See me live up close and personal. I'll be here.
Haley, we got someone in the chat says congrats to the new champ.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Haley, how many years have you been in the ring?
1.
1 year and you're already champ.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
That, my
More
friend,
to come.
is a rise to power.
That's
Thank you.
strong woman here too. Strong woman. One of the toughest women I think I've seen in a long time in the ring. Now, I'm sorry, Haley. I don't always agree with your tactics, but they seem to work for
They
you.
work.
They seem to work for
work.
her.
I might
don't want
have to tune into Ohio Valley Wrestling and find out what it is you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, not only can you tune in, but you can also, we have once a month, we're starting to have our pay-per-views where you can stream us live. I think you go to OhioValleyWrestling.com. Just
OV Wrestling.
OVWrestling.com.
Make sure you get that out there, Michael. Everybody
I
heard
will.
that. And then you can see how you can purchase our pay-per-views monthly. And
Promo code Hollywood.
Uh-oh. Say it again. What?
Promo code Hollywood.
Hollyhood is the promo code. Go to OVWrestling.com, promo code Hollyhood.
Hollywood, baby.
Save you how many? What?
25%.
25% you can save if you put Hollywood in the promo code.
There you go.
Ooh.
I have now saved you all money for tuning into Joke Story Trick. You can save 25% on OVWrestling.com. So thank you so much for coming in, Haley. Appreciate
No
it.
problem. I'm a busy woman, so I'm going to exit stage left.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
be
right.
safe. Thank
But
you.
that's okay.
Thank you. Thank you, champ. Thank you, champ.
That was
Wow.
awesome, man.
I'm glad I didn't
So-
get it right cross.
Doug, I brought you on to tell me a story. Do you have any crazy wrestling stories to tell us?
Oh, do I have stories to tell? I just need to know one thing. What kind of story do you want?
Well, we accept stories of all kinds. I have literally had 2 separate guests talk stories about bad trips from drugs. I have had literally any story that you can think of. So the floor is yours, man.
Tell you what, I'll tell you my Stephanie McMahon story. How about that?
Oh, that
one?
sounds great.
And I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I will. I will.
Okay. Nobody watches this show. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't. I'm sure it's nobody watches. So me and Danny we had this idea, and we wanted to. This is when we were pretty new on the SmackDown roster. Stephanie McMahon was, she was that's who you went to when you wanted to get stuff done.
Oh, okay.
So we were told if you want to present an idea to try and get it out there on the mainstream on the stage, you go to Stephanie and talk to her. So we sat down with Stephanie, and I don't know, at this time Stephanie had acquired some new friends. new friends.
Friends.
Friends, yes, friends.
Okay, gotcha.
And that day, she was wearing a sweater, and it was kind of a low-cut V sweater, and it was really baggy, a baggy sweater. And so, and I'm telling you that to tell you why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. So we sat down, and she set 2 chairs down. We sat in the hallway, 2 chairs down, and she sat in 1 chair in front of us. Probably, I don't know, probably a good, 5, 6, socially distanced apart, which she didn't have to be, but she stayed away from us. And we were talking and telling her our idea and stuff like that. And then she had like a clipboard, and she was taking some notes. So, and granted, remember, she had this sweater shirt on. It was V-cut, and it was super baggy. So when we were talking, she set her clipboard down and all that, and she leaned forward and put her elbows on her knees and was like this, and her shirt just went that. So me and Danny didn't know if she was doing that on purpose or if she just didn't have a clue. I'll finish that point in a minute.
Okay.
So, are you going home? Mike, I have never stared anyone in the eyeballs so hard, never lost eye contact for the longest period of time as I did that day. I never did this. Oh no, it was right here all the time. Because I was like thinking to my head, I'm like, man, is she messing with me and Dan?
Yeah. Is this a test?
Yeah. What's going on? Because I tell you, I'm going to pass this test with flying colors. So then we got finished talking, and she raised up, grabbed her stuff, and said, "Thank you, boys. I'll take your ideas in consideration." Yada yada yada. And then she got up and left, and me and Danny were still sitting in the chair like this. And then it was like stereo. At the same time, we both went, looked at each other, and we said, "Was that? What was that?" And Danny goes, "I don't know, brother, but I've never stared somebody in the eye so hard in my life." Me too.
Unbelievable.
So that's my stuff.
Well, you passed the test. You passed the test.
I think you did.
Yeah. And she probably went and talked to someone and said, those 2 guys, I just don't think that they're interested in me. I don't know what's going on.
Obviously, those 2 guys, they deserve to become champions for the first time. So we'll put the belts on them.
There you go. And you went on to be champions twice, which is awesome.
We went on to be champions after that, and they used our idea. So
there's part of the show that I want to introduce now. It's called "What the Shit Is This?" So this is something of a wrestling picture that needs explanation. I have no idea what is happening in this picture, but there are 2 wrestlers. One of them is being pile driven, apparently, but there's a lot of hair in this photo, and I don't exactly know what's going on. I'm going to see if I can make this photo bigger for our viewers here. Tell me about this. What is this? Do you know what this is?
I don't know what this is, Michael, but I do know the wrestler in the red tights there. And I do know for a fact he's as bald as me, just so you know.
What? So there's no back. What's happening here? What's happening?
I don't know.
The guy in the back, first of all, we were talking about the amazing physiques of wrestlers, and he's got a little bit of a spare tire, just a little bit going on there. And not only that, but his pants are pulled down, but he's still wearing pretty pink panties underneath the pants.
There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there.
And in addition to, maybe we should just leave this one alone.
But I'm just saying, that guy, I know him for real. He is bald, so I don't know where all that hair is coming from.
That's interesting. Maybe it was in the 70s. Maybe it's an older wrestling. Maybe we're WWF days or something. That's where I came up watching wrestling, was WWF. I grew up in the 80s and was glued to the TV. My brother and I had the thumb wrestler guys. We had the whole thing. And that was, and then I think we both know Nick Dinsmore is a mutual friend of ours, a good friend. We've had him on the show. He was fantastic. I toured with some of those guys throughout Korea a few years ago and had a blast. And so, man, it's been such an honor having you on the show, Doug. ovwrestling.com is the place to go. And where else can people learn about you?
Man, I tell you what, I don't think I finished my story with Over Wrestling, how I got here.
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
Yeah, I got sidetracked. It happens a lot when you get dropped in your head so much and have, how many concussions? I think 5 concussions.
Wow.
Oh, but wrestling's fake. Man, speaking of, people ask me all the time. They go, "Oh, Doug, is wrestling really fake? Is it phony? It's fake, right?" And I told them, I go, "Look, guys, whenever I lost, it was fake. When I won, it was real." And I walk away. I don't think they get it, but no, the rest of it's very physically abusive, and over time, it does wear on your body. And these young guys here, they're doing so much crazy stuff that's so much more athletic than when I was there.
Really?
They're bigger, faster, stronger, and they do more crazy stuff. They're so talented, man.
You know what, Doug? When I did that tour in Korea with the wrestlers, that drove that point home, and it was the first time I ever realized how physical the stuff is, because every night we'd be back at the hotel, and they would just be covered in ice bags.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it's for real. Like, they're really out there exerting their bodies. And I'm like, I'm out there telling jokes, so we were all drinking, but.
Well, that made you even more funny. Listen to me.
Yeah,
nice
right.
Stuff after the show, and I just cut on you. Nick Dinsmore used to use frozen peas. He'd have frozen peas and put them on his knees. I remember that. Yeah, go over to his house, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Hey, poor man's ice.
That's right.
Back to the story. I'm sorry. I get off sidetracked.
It's fine. There's a lot going on.
I was Al Snow. Danny Davis wanted to retire. Sold OVW to Al Snow. Then Al took over and kept the TV show going. 3 months ago, I think 3-4 months ago, I have a buddy who owns a restaurant here in Jeffersonville, Indiana. It's called Harbor and Hops. If you're ever in Jeffersonville, Indiana, check out Harbor and Hops. Anybody that lives close by, go to Harbor and Hops, look it up. Great place to eat.
Ting!
But,
is that near Louisville?
It is. Yes,
okay.
It's right across the river from Louisville.
All right,
it's easier for me to say Louisville, Kentucky. That's actually where I am right now at Ohio Valley Wrestling at the Danny Davis Arena on 4400 Old Shepherdsville Road. There you go. And he took some pictures. I get fans. They'll send me pictures and letters and ask for autographs on pictures a lot. And, I sign them. And then they give me stamped envelopes and I mail them back. Well, there was this a veteran. He sent me some pictures and he sent me a really nice letter and saying that he collects. I hope he's listening because I can't remember his name, but thank you for your service and all our men and women who serve. Much respect, much love. But he sent me this letter saying that this helps. He took up a hobby of collecting photos of wrestlers. He was a wrestling fan, loved it. Send them out, and he puts them in posters and does books for them. And he said this helps him with his PTSD. Is that right? PTSD.
Yeah. Wow,
and
that's awesome.
Me, and I was telling the servers, the bartender at Harbor and Hops restaurant and I brought in these photos. And the owner of the restaurant walked behind me and goes, "Oh, hey, I took those photos." I look, I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, this is the guy who opened this restaurant who used to take pictures back in the day in OVW when I was here. And then he also worked for the WWE taking pictures.
Oh,
and
cool.
We just kind of reconnected, became friends. And he had all these photos. And he goes, "Hey, you think Al would, want to take a look at some of these photos?" I said, "I don't know. I'll reach out." And keep in mind, at this point, I had kind of stepped away from wrestling for about 10, 12 years. So I could, move on with my life with another career and not get that fix from wrestling and not be able to move on.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I got a hold of Al, and where am I?
That's awesome.
I'm here at OVW helping out. I'm helping helping agent matches. I'm helping train the future stars of tomorrow. Everybody works hard here, man. And there's so much work. I used to just be a wrestler before. And now that I'm helping with producing and agenting and stuff like that, I'm seeing all the work that goes into this, man. There's a lot more to it than just going out there and pinning somebody 1, 2, 3.
It's like anything in show business, man.
Put up the set. There's a guy named Cornbread here who put this set up, and then he comes up here and works hard. There's guys that work the cameras and does named Daniel. There's guys that hold the cameras. There's so many people and so many moving parts that I never really saw. I knew it was there, but I never got my hands dirty with it. There's a lot of work that goes on in producing a show, man.
Well, I'm sure that they all appreciate that you see them now. And because anything, in entertainment and show business and sports, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So we're going to keep the show moving. But Doug, will you hang out? Because I'm going to come back, and will you help me with a magic trick in a moment?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, I got a magic trick I want to show too. I used to, whenever I was in WWE, after my wrestling career, or my tag team career was over, Vince McMahon wanted me to come up with a you there?
Yeah, we got you.
Wanted me to come up with a singles character, so I wanted to be a magic kind of a character.
Oh,
so
cool.
I stayed at home and I actually trained with a magician for about 8 months.
Wow.
And I learned one trick.
What were you doing all that time?
And yeah, hey, much respect to you guys, because it is not easy, man. Not easy. You guys are extremely good at what you do.
Well, after the show, I'll hook you up. I've got a good buddy who has a magic shop over in New Albany, right near you, and I'll hook you up. You can run in there and I'll introduce you guys. So I'll be right back with Doug Basham, everyone. I just wanted to say a quick note that this show is kept alive from my Patreon sponsors, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. For that, you get all kinds of exclusive content, including being able to watch me perform live magic shows. In fact, at the end of this month, I'm doing a magic show that's for members only. All of the Patreon members were getting together and we're doing a Zoom meeting with magic shows. And so you can do that at patreon.com/Michael Kent. And let's get going with a magic trick. All right, so we're going to move over to this camera and zoom in a little bit. And let's go back to our guest here. So we'll bring in Doug. And I'm going to switch over to a different microphone as well. So hopefully you can still hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll show you all of these cards, all different cards, and the way that I'm going to have you select a card is by just telling me when to stop anywhere you'd like.
I can say stop anytime I want?
Anywhere you want.
Can I make you, can you go back one?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go back a little bit?
Yeah, can you go back another one?
Yeah, there.
Can you go forward again?
Yeah.
Okay, how about there?
Right here. Do you want this card or this card?
This card.
This one or that one?
That one.
That one. Okay, let's take a look. So it's okay that I see your card. It is the King of Hearts. That's the important thing to remember. King of Hearts, that's your card. Remember, I showed you in the beginning, they're all different cards. That's important because all of these cards, as I go through, your king's in here somewhere, and we're going to try to find your card, but I'm going to mix these up a little bit. I'm going to move the cards all over here. We're going to mix them. We're going to cut them. We're going to move them so that your card gets completely lost. There are 52 cards here, Doug. I want you to tell me a number between 1 and 52.
35.
35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. You're not going to believe this. 34.
No way. No way.
35.
You do that.
But here's the craziest part of all this. The craziest part is what you just saw, you didn't really see. It didn't happen. It looked like that 35th card, the one that you saw, was the King of Hearts, but it's not. Tell me a number higher than 35.
36?
36. The 36th card.
Oh, that was too easy. I should have said 42.
It's not the 40. Wait a second. This is the craziest thing. You said 36, right?
Wait, hang on. You said a number higher than 35?
Anything you want.
53.
Well, that would be card number 1, right? Because it would start over. If you said 53, we would have to go all the way back to card number 1. And if we went all the way back to card number 1,
get out of town.
it would be Doug Basham. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Everyone, tune into the show next week. We've got Chipper Lowell, his hilarious. I will see you all next week. See you next Tuesday. Hey friends, over the years, I've had hundreds of unofficial supporters. Now, you can make it official. Join my Patreon, 4 different levels, tons of exclusive benefits, access, behind the scenes, backstage video, access to shows that you normally wouldn't get to see, producer support, credits, shout outs, VIP events, everything you can think of. And you can join for as little as $1 a month. So thank you in advance for your support. I love all of you.